Despite being a world power, this country remained neutral in both world wars. Hello, welcome to Open Tierra. Today, we're exploring Spain, a country steeped in diverse cultural influences, shaped by centuries of history and conquests. Keep watching to find out what makes Spain so special, the fascinating history, diverse culture, and incredible discoveries waiting to be explored. Spain is located in southwestern Europe and occupies about 85% of the Iberian Peninsula. With an area of 505,990 kilometers squared, it is the largest country in southern Europe. The interior of Spain consists of a high and mountainous plateau known as the Meseta Central. Surrounding the Meseta Central are several mountain ranges, including the Cantabrian Mountains along the northern coast, the Pyrenees along the border with France, the Sierra Morena in the south, and the mountain ranges of Galicia and the Iberian System. The country's highest point is Mulhacan Peak in the Sierra Nevada. Along Spain's northern coast is a coastal plain that narrows toward the northwest. In the southwest, the rolling plains of Andalusia gradually descend to the Guadalquivir River Valley. The country has over 1,800 kilometers of coastline along the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. In addition to the Balearic and Canary Islands, Spain has other small island groups along its coasts. These include the Chafarinas Islands in the Mediterranean and the Savage Islands in the Atlantic. It also holds sovereignty over small islands in North Africa, including Ceuta, Melilla, Peñón de Vélez de la Gomera, Alhucemas Islands, and more. The World Bank estimates that Spain is home to a population of over 47 million people. They represent diverse ethnicities, religions, and languages. The majority of Spaniards are ethnically Spanish and descended from groups such as the Visigoths, Suebi, Celtiberians, and Iberians. Other ethnic minorities in Spain include the Basques in the north, the Catalans in the northeast, and the Galicians in the northwest. Immigrant populations have increased in recent decades, with Moroccans, Romanians, and Latin Americans making up significant groups. The predominant religion in Spain is Roman Catholicism, with over 70% of the population identifying as Catholic. The country has a long Catholic heritage dating back centuries. Other religious minorities include Protestants, Muslims, Jews, and atheists. Spanish, also known as Castilian, is the official and national language spoken across Spain. It is spoken by over 99% of Spaniards as either a first or second language. The other co-official languages are Catalan, Galician, and Basque. Catalan is spoken in eastern and northeastern Spain, Galician in the northwest, and Basque in parts of the Basque Country and Navarre. Other minority languages include Aragonese, Asturian, and Leonese. While sharing common Spanish identity and culture, the regions of Spain each have their own distinct histories, ethnic mixes, dialects, and traditions. Spanish cuisine is known for its incredible diversity and flavors. Here are some classic Spanish dishes that capture the tastes of this fantastic food culture. Rabo de toro translates to oxtail in English. This stew is made by slow-cooking oxtail with tomatoes, red wine, garlic, herbs, and spices for several hours until tender. The rich, fork-tender oxtail in savory broth is often served over fideos or rice. Crema catalana is Spain's version of crème brûlée. This decadent custard dessert comes from Catalonia in the northeast. It's made by slowly cooking egg yolks, cream, sugar, and flavorings like cinnamon, lemon zest, or brandy in a water bath until set. The smooth custard is topped with crunchy burnt sugar for contrast. Spain produces amazing cheeses, and queso manchego is one of its most famous. Made exclusively in La Mancha from the milk of Manchega sheep, it has a firm texture and rich, tangy flavor. Aged 12 months or more, the cheese develops nutty and fruity notes. Leche frita, or fried milk, is a wonderful unique Spanish dessert. Milk, sugar, flour, and cinnamon are combined and fried until it firms into soft, sweet fritters. Often dusted in sugar or served with honey, leche frita is found across Spain, but is especially popular for Andalusian breakfast and the Christmas season. The Iberian Peninsula was inhabited by ancient peoples like the Iberians, Celts, and Basques. Phoenicians, Greeks, and Carthaginians established coastal colonies starting in the 1st millennium BCE. The conquest of the peninsula by the Romans began in the 3rd century BCE. Hispania became an important province of the Roman Republic and Empire for over 600 years. After the fall of Rome in the 5th century CE, the Germanic Visigoths ruled Spain for over 200 years until the early 8th century. Visigothic. It was centered on Toledo and was known for its blending of Roman, Germanic and Christian cultures. The kingdom eventually fell to invading forces from North Africa. The Muslim Umayyad conquest of Hispania began in 711 CE. Over the next centuries, much of the Iberian Peninsula came under Muslim rule in the domain of Al-Andalus. This ushered in a golden age where Muslim, Christian and Jewish cultures coexisted and thriving intellectual and artistic activity occurred. By the 11th century, Muslim Spain had fractured into small kingdoms. Beginning in the 8th century, the Christian kingdoms of northern Spain began the long process of the Reconquista, the recapture of Iberia from Muslim rule. Led by Asturias, the medieval Spanish kingdoms like Castile, Aragon and Navarre expanded southward over centuries. By 1492, the Reconquista ended with the capture of Granada by the Catholic monarchs Isabella of Castile and Ferdinand of Aragon. The newly unified Spain became a dominant global empire in the 15th and 16th centuries. Spanish exploration of the Americas under Christopher Columbus and others led to an immense empire. The Spanish Empire spanned much of South and Central America, Mexico, the Caribbean, Florida, the Philippines and territories in Africa. Spanish power declined by the 17th century. Political instability and civil wars plagued 18th century Spain. In the early 19th century, Napoleon's invasion led to rebellion and independence movements across Spain's American colonies. The country remained neutral in World Wars I and II. The 20th century saw the Spanish Civil War, General Franco's dictatorship, and Spain's transition back to democracy in the 1970s. Spain has the world's 13th largest economy and the 4th largest in the Eurozone. Spain transitioned to democracy in the late 1970s and has seen major economic expansion and modernization since then. As of 2022, its GDP was roughly $1.4 trillion according to World Bank estimates. Services account for over 70% of Spain's GDP. Tourism is a vital sector, with Spain being the second most visited country in the world. Financial services and banking are major industries centered in Madrid. Manufacturing includes automobiles, machinery, pharmaceuticals, and processed foods. Agriculture produces olive oil, wine, citrus fruits, pork, and more. Spain's main export partners are France, Germany, Portugal, Italy, and the UK. It imports machinery, vehicles, fossil fuels, and chemicals. Foreign investment comes from countries like the Netherlands, Luxembourg, France, Germany and the UK. Multinational companies are attracted by the country's infrastructure and large domestic market. Sports play a major role in Spanish culture and society. Football, basketball, tennis, cycling and bullfighting are among the most popular sports in Spain, both for spectators and participants. Football is undoubtedly Spain's most popular sport. The Spanish national team won their first World Cup in 2010. The domestic club competition, La Liga, contains world-renowned teams like Real Madrid and FC Barcelona. Football stars like Xavi and Andres Iniesta are national heroes. Basketball is a rising sport in the country. The men's national team won gold at the 2019 FIBA World Cup and silver at the 2008 and 2012 Olympics. The ACB League features top professional club teams. The popularity of the NBA has increased basketball's following in the country. Tennis is hugely popular in Spain thanks to superstar Rafael Nadal, who has won 22 Grand Slam singles titles. Major tournaments like the Madrid Open and Barcelona Open showcase great Spanish talent. Cycling has a long tradition in the country. The Vuelta a España is one of cycling's 3 Grand Tours. Spanish cyclists excel internationally. Miguel Indurain won 5 straight Tour de France titles in the 1990s. If you enjoyed this video on Spain, you'll love this next one.